Good morning here from North Tarawa in Kiribati. It's my last day here. Tomorrow I'm off to Fiji on Fiji Airways, so I will have one more night enjoying the wind coming through this bungalow here, which is good because it's like incredibly hot and humid. Yeah, what are my thoughts on Kiribati as a travel destination? For the first 2 nights I stayed in Besio, which is at the far western end of South Tarawa, and that was kind of a culture shock. South Tarawa is vastly overpopulated, and in fact Kiribati is officially one of the most underdeveloped countries in the world, and you can clearly see that in South Tarawa. Also, the hotel staff in Besio was, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were really friendly. It's just, I had a feeling they didn't really know what they were doing. Like, for example, the receptionist copied my passport, and then she put the copy aside, turned to me and asked me, "I'm sorry, what is your name?" And I'm like, "You just copied my passport, just look at that copy." Yeah, but anyway. And people also throw their trash everywhere. But at the same time, I can't really blame the people here, because I think there is no real garbage system in Kiribati, so maybe they don't have a choice, you know. There's not really any concern for trash in the environment. You can see trash everywhere, like even here on the beach. I don't know, maybe they can establish a real garbage collection system. I think that there is something, but maybe it's not widely spread. But now to the good sides. The people here are some of the friendliest and most easygoing people I've met anywhere. Like, for example, during the car tour, the hotel driver and her, I think, daughter invited us to her family home and offered us coconuts for lunch. That was so nice, and they're so welcoming as well. Sometimes they're a bit too easygoing. Like when I wanted to leave the hotel in Besio, the night before I went to the reception and I confirmed with the receptionist twice that the hotel will take me to the airport at 7 a.m. And then the next morning I went to the reception 5 minutes before 7 and I was like, okay, I'm ready to check out and go to the airport. And then they were like, oh yeah, the car already left. Like, it left an hour earlier with like other guests, and they didn't feel the need to tell me. And then they were like, yeah, we have to wait for the car to come back and then we will take you 1.5 hours later. Imagine, you want to catch a flight at the airport and they are like, yeah, we'll get you there 1.5 hours later. Oh man. That's Kiribati. You need a lot of time, a lot of flexibility, because it's not an organized country here. By the way, there are also no taxis here, or like maybe there's like a handful of taxis, but it would be very, very difficult to get a taxi to go from the hotel to the airport actually, so you're kinda forced to use the hotel transport, which was free by the way, but it would be even nicer if it was on time. I would not advise to plan to connect to Air Kiribati directly coming from an international flight or like going back, simply because they change schedules all the time. They do publish their schedules on Facebook 1 day in advance, the detailed one, and you may find that your flight has been shifted by 5 hours, so I would advise against planning to take an international connection on the same day. Out here, North Tarawa is like less populated. I pretty much have the whole lodge to myself. That's nice. And yeah, in general, it feels much more relaxed. There are issues as well here though. The Wi-Fi, for example, it costs 20 Australian dollars for 24 hours and it's super slow. I cannot even open a web page. Next time I come here, I will research eSIMs, because if you don't purchase an eSIM, you will have to pay for Wi-Fi in Kiribati everywhere. Like, there's no free Wi-Fi at any hotel. Also, there's actually a bit of trash here and there at the beach, as you can kinda see, but yeah, that's Kiribati. There's always trash. At least here it's less than in South Tarawa. It's very pretty now. High tide just came in, and with the sun shining upon the blue lagoon, it's amazing. Good morning from North Tarawa again. I'm flying to Fiji today. Unfortunately, I need to take my baggage across this channel, and it's almost low tide, but the boat is still running, I think. So maybe I don't have to carry it all the way, but just to the boat. Let's go. We have to walk, or the boat is coming? Boat, yeah. So the boat didn't even use its engine. They couldn't, just kind of pushed it across because the water was only like 30-40 centimeters deep. But anyway, we're here and now waiting for the car to the airport. Should be here in like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Went to school in Cambodia.
In Cambodia? Oh, nice. Made it to Tarawa airport. Luckily, I have to say, because my transport didn't show up again. Like, I agreed with them on 8:30. They didn't show up. Luckily, there was a family going to the airport at the same time and they offered me a ride. Like, that was really lucky. And the father could even speak English, like, very well. So we had a very nice conversation on the way. But I don't really know what it is about Tarawa and airport pickups, like airport transfers. It's the third time that it doesn't really work. I don't know what it is. So if I hadn't met that family, I would still be standing there. That's insane. Yeah, anyway, it's good to be here. It's 9 a.m. Flight leaves at 11:50. Boarding is at like 11:05. And then we can go to Fiji. Right, I just changed my shoes into solid footwear because when I'm taking a flight, I actually don't want to wear sandals. Just in case there is like an emergency and you need to evacuate. I mean, it's unlikely, but just in case. It's easier when you have like solid footwear. I think I'll buy a water bottle from the shop there. Then I would try to go through security. I checked in online and I have a mobile boarding pass. I'm almost certain they will not accept a mobile boarding pass here at security, but let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll need to go to the counter to get a printed one. And once again, I'm in the departure lounge here. Difference being, for today's flight, for the international flights, there's an immigration officer at the immigration booth, sort of. And as expected, at security, they did not accept my mobile boarding pass, so I had to go to the counter, get a printed boarding pass. Fair enough, I mean, they need to check your passport anyway. Yeah, and at security it was kind of funny. So I had another water bottle and I asked if I can keep it, which they refused this time. For Kiribati, like the domestic flight, they let me keep it, but for the international flight, I couldn't take it through. But they actually offered a very funny solution, which I've never heard anywhere before. I can leave the water bottle outside, like at the security checkpoint, like outside, and then I go through security. And then when I want to drink, I just go back there, have a sip, and then go through security again. It was such a funny and casual solution. Like, just leave your water bottle there and come back whenever you feel like drinking something. I've never experienced that anywhere. But it's a good solution, actually. It's still 1.5 hours to boarding. Aircraft is on the way, I hope. I cannot check in on Flight Radar because, as I've mentioned before, there's no Wi-Fi, at least no public Wi-Fi at this airport. So I'm like without internet right now.
Hola.
Welcome aboard the Fiji Airways Boeing 737 MAX 8. Today is just a 3-hour day flight. I think Fiji Airways will serve a meal during those 3 hours. Boarding is still underway. Seat looks very nice. They do have in-flight entertainment, and they also give you over-ear headphones for the IV. It's not like cheap in-ear headphones, but like really nice ones. And they also have Wi-Fi on board. We'll go through that a bit later. My seat was a bit dirty when I came here. I think someone had a few too many crackers. Weather is looking good. It's bright and sunny.
flying Boeing 737 MAX 8, destination to Nadi International Airport. We're planning to cruise at an altitude of 37,000 feet above sea level. At the moment we're making some final preparations for the departure and then we should be on our way. We'll be shorting south for runway 09, which is in an easterly direction, and then we're making a right turn again towards the south, towards the destination Nadi. Above Fiji Airways and attack 2. We shall apply the flight, and thank you for flights.
Boarding completed. The flight looks only maybe 2/3 full, but like the back area here is like completely empty. One out of Tarawa, absolutely stunning takeoff. Now we turn towards the southeast, heading directly towards Nadi. I might ask the crew if I can move 2 rows to the back, because the back is like completely empty, but here someone is sitting in the RC. I don't know, it's better to have a row to yourself, I guess. So I asked the crew if I can move 2 rows to the back, and they agreed, so I have a row to myself now. Amazing. And actually the other side is empty as well, although the seat back of the seat in front looks like some kid had a good time with a pencil here. The crew just handed out the arrival form for Fiji, and they also announced there will actually be a hot meal service on this flight. Yay! I'm looking forward to that. The flight's going over lunchtime, so it's good to have something. Coming back to the seat back, the neighboring seat back actually looks even worse. Maybe Fiji Airways could clean them from time to time. On a better note, the crew just handed out some water, real Fiji water. The lunch service has arrived. There was a choice between mustard chicken with pasta and mixed vegetables and the vegetarian option, which was a potato and eggplant curry, if I understood correctly. But I went for the chicken. Portion size is a bit small, but I mean, it's only a 3-hour flight. The mixed vegetables are corn and peas, and the whole thing comes with a small salad and a dessert. Going through some clear air turbulence right now. As you can see outside, there are no clouds at all, and actually you wouldn't expect turbulences, yet here we are. There's a reason why they say you have to keep your seatbelts fastened. Meal finished. It was actually quite good, like including that small salad, and the dessert was actually quite nice as well. Could have been a bit more, but yeah. And the drinks cart also just came by, and I got an orange juice. The crew's really lovely, really hardworking, really professional. Like, for example, I had finished my meal and put the empty tray on the tray table in the aisle seat, and as soon as I put it down there, a crew member from the back came and picked it up. This flight is actually super turbulent, even though there are not many clouds outside, at least not on our altitude, so you could say it's like clear air turbulence. Also, the headsets are nice, but I had to try all headsets in my row to find one that's actually working. Like, 2 of them don't work and just the 3rd one works now.
We'll be commencing our descent very shortly into Nadi. Just a reminder to please have all around documentation completed and ready for inspection by the local authorities.
Just started our descent into Nadi. It was a very turbulent flight. Like, it's not turbulent anymore, that's good, but in general, it was a bumpy ride. Yeah, apparently it's a bit rainy in Fiji, but it should be nice weather tomorrow, hopefully. Apart from the turbulences, it was actually a great flight. And quite interesting, earlier, at one occasion during the cruise, we went through some high-lying clouds, and the pilot actually activated the speed brakes for just a few seconds, not long. But I thought that was quite interesting during the cruise. Maybe we were reaching like an overspeed limit, but yeah, the speed brakes were like half up for a few seconds. So, let's get down to Fiji.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our home. It was our absolute pleasure having you all on board, and we look forward to welcoming you back on your next flight. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, be in Nakapakalevu, and welcome to our home, the Fiji Islands.
Welcome to Fiji. Let's cross this railroad. Immigration was kind of fast. Took like 10-15 minutes. Yeah, I wanted to exchange some money in the airport, but they charge like a 7-8% fee. And that's like too much. Just got some money from the ATM. They charge a 15 Fiji dollar fee, which is like less. Let's cross the road here. On the other side of the road, you can see the Fiji Gateway Hotel. Stayed there last time. It's actually my second time in Fiji. This time I'm staying at a place a bit further away. It's like a half-hour walk, but walking to airports, you know. The weather is actually kind of okay. There are clouds, so the sun is not burning. And the temperature, I mean, it's warm, but it's not as hot as in Tarawa. It's quite pleasant. And it's a nice walk as well, look at that. Beautiful. Finally here at the Ratsun Nadi Airport hotel, apartment, hotel stuff, I don't know. They have a kitchen here, that's nice. The walk from the airport was a bit sweaty after all, I have to admit. It was a half-hour walk, maybe a bit less, but actually it's quite easy to walk. Later tonight I'm gonna meet a friend here, and tomorrow we'll travel to another island together on Fiji Link. If you don't want to miss out on that, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, enjoy your travels.